Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Cheryl Westler, did you get my message?
Yeah,
my
I did.
email?
And I took care of it. So the next time Linda hits the button, it'll show up.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm gonna get her towel.
Camille, I dropped off those sweaters at the temple.
I told them.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Are you gonna Zoom at 8 o'clock?
Oh, come
All
on.
right, I'll see you on. Okay. Bye.
There you are. Oh, yes, Camille, I brought
Oh,
over my silent auction donation.
Thank you.
that's probably why they left the message too.
Oh, look how cute the dog is, Debbie. He's sitting so cute. He's so cute.
It's Mira. It's a girl.
Mira.
On the wall.
He likes you. He's looking at you.
Cute puppy.
Lou, that was not lost on me.
I'm on a Zoom.
Why am I not here?
Jeff, you are here. We just can't see you. I'm gonna send you a ask to start video button. There you go.
Okay, great, thank you.
What prayer book do you use tonight?
Doesn't.
We'll be using Mishkan Tefillah, but we'll be projecting all the liturgy on your screen.
Oh, how nice. Good.
Yes.
Rita, I love that you're so technologically forward at 92 years old.
Don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
God bless.
Your secret's safe with us on YouTube.
That lady.
Yeah, move closer. I can't see you. Yeah, that's better.
I don't want you to see that I'm eating pizza.
Churches and casinos both closed. Well, we can't be seen. I can't see.
That's a nice family picture.
More.
Yes, the
Bloom family.
Blooms, you have such good posture.
Yeah.
We're on hard back chairs.
Uh-huh.
Where is she?
Jeff, so you clicked the video link, but the video is not working. It may be more successful if you come out and back in.
Okay.
Every once in a while, it doesn't like it.
Okay.
Who knew that in the last 12 months, I'd become a Zoom expert?
No, I never even heard of Zoom before the pandemic.
A year ago,
Zoom.
I would have like 1 to 2 Zoom meetings a month.
Zoom, golly.
Hi, Brianna.
Hey,
Hi,
Arlene. Arlene.
Hello.
How you doing?
Boston, what's new?
New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, New
It's
York,
so
New Jersey, New Haven.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Did I get on the wrong Zoom call? Is this Jews telling jokes?
Yeah. What else is now?
George, how are you?
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, George.
Shabbat shalom from warm Florida, which is where we are right now.
Shabbat shalom.
But through this incredible invention of Zoom, I could be in West Windsor, New Jersey.
Nice.
God's place.
And it's a beautiful thing
How's
to
the
see
weather
all-
there, George?
It's a beautiful thing to see everybody in Beth Chaim looking so great. Probably everybody's now vaccinated.
Close, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We got ours.
Homework, I don't know, I just sat in my room, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Rabbi, are you vaccinated?
Fully, and so is my husband, and our au pair has her appointment on Monday, her first shot.
That's you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm here.
We're
Thanks,
dead.
Rose.
We're all
So
done.
did-
We're
so
all
did
done.
Sue, were
Wait,
you,
wait, turn off, wait, Mama, you gotta mute yourself. Wait, click connect to computer audio.
Down here.
Liz,
Yep.
we don't have
Yep,
your.
you still don't have your picture up.
No, it didn't.
Holiday because Leona's with us.
Sorry, Jeff, it didn't work.
Yeah, I sent Jeff a link also. I don't know what's going on there.
It's not connecting.
The host has
I'm gonna try leaving.
they sent me a click.
It's time for a reboot for the Boyarskis. All
Liz,
right,
we
friends,
don't-
it's
we
time
don't-
to start.
We don't have Liz's picture though. Or we don't see Liz.
Thanks, Oz. I was sleeping.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you have technical difficulties during the service, please use the chat to message me. You've all been muted so that we can create a holy moment and sacred space. Shabbat Shalom.
I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart.
Welcome to everyone who is with us by Zoom and by YouTube. Yesterday, the Jewish people commemorated Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day. We recall the 6 million Jewish souls that were lost during World War II, as well as the millions of others who were targeted because of their religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, politics, developmental or physical abilities. Every Yom HaShoah, we repeat the refrain, never again, to remind us of our role in ensuring life and liberty for all. So tonight's Shabbat service is dedicated to this National Day of Mourning. While the readings and tunes of this evening's worship may strike a more somber note, I do not want us to forget to celebrate life, for which we are so grateful. Therefore, I would like to invite Cale Bloom and his family to lead us in candle lighting and Kiddush on the eve of his B'nai Mitzvah. First, we will hear from Cale's aunt and uncle, Jennifer and Tom Selly.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
We now all light our own Shabbat candles, and then Cale will lead for us the candle lighting blessing.
Should I start?
Take it away, Cale.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. And we lift our Kiddush cups high for this prayer for joy, also led by Cale.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodesh b'hava uvratzon hehilanu zekaranu ma'aseh v'reishi Ki hu yom tehillah, Hamagrat et Kodesh. Say her litzat Mitzrayim, Ki vanu bahar tavotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, B'Shabbat kodesh be'ava uvratzon, En haltanu, Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, you're free to drink while we're here. A reading from your cousins, Randy Bloom and Michael Scalaro.
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories, glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessings, O God.
Amen. I ask folks to join me in wishing Kale a hearty mazel tov in our chat box, and please send messages of congratulations as we turn to Lecha Dodi, our prayer saying thank you, Shabbat, for finally joining us.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, בשם ותפארת ולתהילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, ונשבת נקבלה.
We invite everyone to unmute and greet each other. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
everybody.
Hello, hello.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Jill. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi.
Hi, kids.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our service will now continue with the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולם מעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Hear, O Israel, the covenant we made together on Sinai is a pledge for all time, a vow for the ages to do and to listen, to teach and to learn, with the fullness of our hearts, from the depths of our souls and the strength of our being, binding ourselves to Adonai our God. With Torah and mitzvot, binding our lives to each other, with righteousness and charity, so the blessings will rain down from heaven to feed our hearts and fill our land with God's abundant gifts, the brilliance and wonder that flow from service to God's holy word, in remembrance of creation and our liberation from slavery, declaring throughout the generations, God is one, God is one, God is one.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 בך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. לה 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 למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Hold fast to the breath of life. Hold fast to the song of life. Hold fast to the soul of life. This is my sacred duty, God of old, as survivor, as witness, as a voice of history and truth. Why else did I live when so many died? Why else do I stand when so many were put to rest? Why else do I hope and yearn when so many were silenced? Hold fast to awe and wonder. Hold fast to radiance and light. Hold fast to mystery and majesty. This is my sacred duty, God of old, as mourner, as testimony to horror and destruction. What else remains? What else endures? What more can you ask of me but to choose life in the shadow of death?
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהינו עושים אלה, נורא ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Rock of Jacob, comfort of Rachel, broken and torn, shattered and crushed, bereaved and bereft, we declare your holy name. We praise your gifts and your works. You are author and artist, architect and builder, source and redeemer. We are the mourners of Zion and Israel. We, the mourners of Zion and Israel, comfort each other. We console the lonely and embrace the lost. We cry each other's tears. Together we recall your wonder and your majesty. Holy One, ineffable Redeemer, guiding hand, gentle hand, loving hand, Light of Israel, guardian of Israel.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We now want to offer up blessings in our lives, things that we are grateful for this Shabbat, this week, this month. Please type in the chat box so that your Beth Chaim family can celebrate with you. I'm definitely grateful this week for the extra sunshine, which we know the rain is coming. Thank you, Adria. Grateful for this sacred community. Grateful to have so many people joining us tonight. Grateful for friends and family. Grateful that no lives were lost in the terrible fires this week. Grateful for planting flowers, for the care and support of the Chaim. Grateful tonight to see familiar faces that I haven't seen in a while. Grateful for vaccinations. Grateful for baseball. My big kid starts T-ball tomorrow. Grateful for family and the warm spring weather. Thankful to be together. For Kale, clearly there's a lot of friends and family here to support him tonight. Please keep the blessings coming as we turn to these words of thanks.
מודים אנחנו לך, מודים אנחנו לך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים בעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים בעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון בכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון בכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים בעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים בעולם. וטוב לך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים בעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים בעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים בעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים בעולם. תשים בעולם. תשים לעולם.
We take a few moments for silent prayer to offer up those hopes and dreams that lie in our own hearts, or to take a few meditative moments for ourselves.
רצו עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי
We now turn our thoughts to those in our lives in need of healing. If you are keeping someone in your prayers this Shabbat for healing of body, mind, heart, and soul, I invite you to type those names in the chat box as I share the names of these loved ones. Rhoda Schwartz, Arlene Grable, Teddy Molaski, Nathan Hecker, Marvin and Jitty Ginelman, Betty Abramowitz, Bob Gast, the Weisberg and Evans family, Chaim Ben Esther, Elaine Berkowitz, Barbara Gladstone, Rosalie Krieger, Piper Fitzpatrick, Dorothy Chason, Jill Sava, Israel Benjamin, Arlene Mulry Pearl, Lisa Scher, Marlena Elkin, Claire Munkachi, Louis Baskin, Erica Taylor, Sandra Schachter, Bernard Greenwald, Allison Schaffman Flood, Gail Malter, Avram Glazer, Iris Horowitz, and all those affected by this week's fires in West Windsor and Robbinsville, and all those suffering from the mass shootings across our country in recent days. Together we join in this prayer for healing. Two years ago this Shabbat, Lorenzo Moreno stood on the bima of Congregation B'chaim to affirm his commitment to Judaism, the faith that he adopted as his own. On that evening, Lorenzo chanted Parshat Shmini and gave a Devar Torah, a teaching on this portion from the book of Leviticus. In honor of the anniversary of Lorenzo's first Aliyah to the Torah, I invite him to share some more timely words of teaching with us this evening. Thank you, Lorenzo, for this Devar Torah on loss, grief, and listening.
Thank you. Catastrophe is one of those words we would prefer to use, if at all, rarely. Yet, this past year, it has insidiously become part of our daily vocabulary to describe the great and sudden damage to every aspect of our lives due to an infectious disease pandemic. In Hebrew, the word Shoah means catastrophe, a whirlwind of destruction, a disaster. Like in Isaiah, disaster is falling upon you, which you will not be able to appease. Coming upon you suddenly is ruin, of which you know nothing. Today is Yom HaShoah, the holiday when we pause to honor the victims of the systematic attempt to destroy the Jewish people forever by the German Nazi regime during World War II. This episode of utter destruction, a Holocaust, a sacrifice by fire, defies the coherence and logic that we think everything in our life should have. In Israel, Jews commemorate Yom HaShoah by remaining silent for 2 minutes, first at sundown, after which official ceremonies begin, including the lighting of candles to keep alive the victims' memories. In the United States, we mark this holiday by congregating in synagogues for worship, music, stories of survivors, and silent meditation. Why is silence a central element of the commemoration of the incomprehensible manifestation of radical evil against Jews? Because silence is powerful, as I will now describe. This week's Torah portion from the book of Leviticus, Shemini, reminds us of an important lesson. No one promised us that everything would be obvious and understandable. For instance, this parasha recounts a story of tragic loss, God's punishment of death by fire of Aaron's sons, Nadav and Abihu, for reasons that remain a mystery. It also describes that Aaron received in silence Moses' attempt to justify God's killing of his nephews. Aaron's response adds to the mystery of his son's death. This past year has been a reminder that there is a moment in life when we need to accept that we can't understand everything. Why has the COVID-19 infection spread like a whirlwind of destruction of lives and livelihoods? Why have we become desensitized to somber milestones like the more than 1.5 million deaths in our country since the pandemic began? Why have we been indifferent to the shortage of social responsibility and solidarity to contain the infection spread by using face masks and maintaining a prudent distance from each other? Why have we become numb to the pandemic of anxiety or depression and their painful consequences like substance abuse or suicide, which has affected young and old alike? Although this is a moment of much confusion, it's simultaneously a moment of liberation. This freeing of the mind could allow us to rethink the answer to these frequently asked questions. What will normal look like after the pandemic subsides? And how will we build it? In my case, I want a normalcy in which we become compassionate and supportive listeners of the millions grieving their losses from the disaster that has transformed our lives forever. Although governments, charity organizations, and volunteers lead the public response to those in hardship, listening is a personal, one-to-one undertaking which builds on silence. Judaism is a religion of listening. In Hebrew, lishma, to listen, is one of the most important verbs in the Torah. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Listening promotes engagement, creates relationships, resolves conflicts. It's not surprising that active listening is in itself healing, the key tenet of psychotherapy. The sentence, I hear you, is an effective way of communicating empathy. There is something profoundly spiritual about listening. Great listeners, more than speakers, change lives. Listening means caring, being in sympathy with someone in a time of need. I don't know what normalcy will look like or how it will evolve in the short and long term. In the meantime, I hope that there is a pandemic of decency, goodwill, and social responsibility to ensure that we rebuild in a way that makes everyone essential, included, supported, and visible. And for that, we only have to use the power of silence and practice listening empathically. Hasak ve'ematz, be strong and courageous.
Thank you, Lorenzo, for your powerful words and for your stunning photographs that have dotted our service tonight. In the spirit of your teaching, we turn to the prayer Aleinu, in which we remember that it is on us to partner with God to repair this world together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Creator of all, source and shelter, grant a perfect rest under your tabernacle of peace to those who perished in the Holocaust, our fathers and mothers, our sisters and brothers, our rabbis and teachers, our neighbors and children, the named and the unnamed, whose lives were cut off by brutal, vicious, cunning, and calculated violence. May they find peace in the world to come. Remember the survivors who have since passed away, and the virtues of our people who've died at the hand of malice in every generation. We remember the works of their hands and the messages of their hearts. Bless the defenders of Israel with safety and strength, and the righteous of all nations who provide protection, shelter, and comfort to the Jewish people. Let their deeds be a source of favor in heaven and healing on earth. Put an end to anger, hatred, and fear, and lead us to a time when no one will suffer at the hand of another, speedily in our days. May the memories of all who faced these horrors be sanctified with joy and love. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life, a living blessing in our midst. If you are remembering someone this week who's passed away, I invite you to type those names in the chat box as I share these names. Remember one who died this week, Rebecca Lynn Lapinto Moran, sister of Carol Ann Lapinto Blank, and several whose loved ones are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. Marion Berman, mother of Anne Berman Waldorf, Howard Balin, father of Jeff Balin, Aaron Wold, father of Rich Wold, Francine Schneider, grandmother of Michael Fox. And we remember the following yahrzeits, the anniversary of the passing of these loved ones in this past week: Genia Burke, Abraham Liebhaber, Sylvia Sofro, Judith Breiterman, Bessie Kotowitz Chase, Lawrence Pastiora, Sadie Kaplan, William Dickerman, Paul Weissman, Estelle Fetter, Hilda Siegel, Jesse Gleeksman, Benjamin Feldman, Irving Sherman, Elliot Ross, Florence Gutterman, Erwin Markman, Betty Brossoff, Ruth Abramson, Masha and Isaac Kowalski, Marvin Gitnick, Sam Litwin, Irene Soffin, Dawn Thackeray, Sanford Newman, Paul Tandler, Solomon Purr, Milton Rubin, Sarah Sava, Lothar Daniel, Allison Hamilton, Nathan Sukanic, Tilly Weisenberg, Pearl Weiss, Thomas Boylan, Saul Brown, Clara Bernstein Yallis, and Lillian Connor and Jean Puchati. We join together in the hallowed words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma Divra Chirute, B'amlich Malchute, B'chayechon V'yomechon, U'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv, B'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam Ul'almei Almaya, Yit Barach V'yish Tabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Romam, V'yit Naseh, V'yit Hadar, V'yit Aleh, V'yit Halel, Shemei de Kudisha, Brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Za'amiran B'alma, B'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, B'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, B'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. I now invite Vivian Newmark to share a few announcements with us. Vivian, we'll just need you to unmute.
Hello, my name is Vivian Newmark. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Congregation Beth Chaim, thank you for joining us this evening for our Yom HaShoah Shabbat service. Tomorrow morning, Torah study will meet in person in the parking lot at 8:45 a.m. Dress warmly and please BYOC. Bring your own chair. At 9 a.m., the B'nai Mitzvah family will meet on Zoom. Then at 10:30, Cal Bloom will be called to the Torah as one of our B'nai Mitzvah. Join us in wishing the Bloom family a hearty Mazal Tov. A lot is going on this Sunday. On the Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. with religious school, learning in the lot, followed by Zoom school at 11 a.m. Please note that the enrichment electives are canceled for this week due to COVID, but join us on Zoom for Heart, Mind, and Soul, the Omer, Lag BaOmer, and Shavuot at 9:30 a.m. The Tikkun Olam Committee meeting at 11 a.m. The Racial Justice Task Force meeting at 12 p.m. and the BCTY Nature Walk at 3 p.m. unless it is called for rain. Mazal Tov to all of our teens being honored on Monday night in Gesher L'Kesher's Moving Up ceremony. On Tuesday night, the Temple Board and Executive Committee will meet. On Wednesday, religious school will convene at 4:30 and 7 p.m. And the Security Committee and Reopening Task Force will meet in the evening. Next Friday, sing and dance at Tat Shabbat at 5:30 p.m. Then celebrate the birthdays of Israel and also our congregants born in April at our special Yom HaAtzmaut Shabbat service on Zoom beginning at 8 p.m. Last but certainly not least, come one, come all to our Senior Rabbi Installation Weekend, April 23rd through 25th. Tickets available at bethlehem.betterworld.org. Visit our website, bethlehem.org, for more details about upcoming events. Thank you, as always, for being a valued member of our community, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Vivian.
Olam chesed yivane, yala layla layla layla. 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 I will build this world from love, yala layla layla layla. And you must build this world from love, yala layla layla layla. If we build this world from love, yala layla layla layla. God will build this world from love, yala layla layla layla. Olam chesed yibane, 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 yala layla layla layla.
While we miss sharing an oneg together, you may be enjoying dinner or dessert on your own. And so we want to join in together from hamotzi, showing gratitude for the sustenance in our lives.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. And as we prepare to close out our Yom HaShoah Shabbat service, we so very much wish for peace and healing and wholeness for this whole world, that we know so many are suffering and so many have suffered. May Elijah come soon and in our day to usher in a new age where no one will have to know this kind of pain.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless us and protect us.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon us, and may God be gracious to us.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'asem lecha shalom.
May we always feel that God's presence is near, and may we be blessed with the greatest gift of all, the gift of peace.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom, everyone.